the reason that if Steven shaved off all his hair and got into a major car crash that totally ruined his good looks, and then he asked you out, would you go? 100% said yes.
Really?
Yeah. I guess you don't spend a lot of time on here. That's for you.
Wow. That's really something.
And that's a small sort of representation of what else is out there. There's a lot written on the net as I was Googling your name. One quote that I found that I really liked is from you. It says, "You haven't lived until you've lived in a loincloth. It's very liberating, incredibly freeing." Do you have a comment for us?
As being slightly facetious. Yeah, it was really something. Yeah, being.
Well, because I mean, from your experience in other films and as a model, I mean, I guess you're used to sort of being on display in that way, but you're really on display in this film, so it's good. That had to be a little insane.
Yeah, when it was 5 degrees out in New
Yeah.
Zealand, the loincloth was really something.
Yeah.
It was, getting into a headspace where, what we were trying to portray seemed somewhat realistic to you and performing. The costumes were important. The environment was very important. And just having all those pieces come together allowed, I think, our imaginations to really build something that was tangible for us,
Right.
which was incredibly hard to do, considering that there's no real references for a film in this time or the templates or anything. So it was important, I guess.
Well, you did, I mean, I guess you do the research into that sort of thing, but also just physically. I mean, you have a martial arts background, but you went to a boot camp, I understand, for this. Tell me a little bit just about the prep to get ready for the first day of camp.
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a bit of physical work to do. I had lost about 35 pounds in about a month and a half before we got to boot camp.
Right.
And because I wanted, Roland also wanted a character that, one, didn't look like he was sitting in the gym,
Right.
and two, looked as if he could hunt for his food and live in this environment realistically. So all of us trained incredibly hard, even just to do the shots. I mean, during that hunting sequence, weeks of running in the middle of in the tundra, southern New Zealand. So just to be able to do the shoot required quite a bit of training.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we have questions?
No, that's what I did.
Sure, yeah.
Down through Hollywood history, it's always been risky playing, for want of a better word, caveman. Even Victor Mature in the 40s looked pretty dumb in 1 million BC. Grunting, monosyllable, bare skin. Did you hesitate at first to say, I'm going to look really goofy trying to play a caveman?
I think for all of us there's an element of risk. There's such a fine line, especially with subject matter like this, between mockery and a story that can actually, touch someone in some way. The thing is with 10,000, it's by no means a historical film. It's not a National Geographic documentary, and it really is a fantasy that has that time period as its background or template. And I think Roland knew that, and we all did. So in terms of playing a character of that time, we certainly weren't fronting or anything like that. And there were pyramids in early civilization and whatnot. It was just kind of a fantastic, in the truest sense of the word, story to tell. And I've always been such a fan of Roland and his work, and I just really trusted him for it. And,
Well, you said in one interview that I read that you had kind of grown up watching his movies,
Yeah.
and so that's a chance to work with him. You sort of leapt at it in the sense that just to be part of that sort of legacy of his.
Absolutely. I think I saw Stargate when I was 10, and to be able to work with Roland or to be in one of his movies, I've just been such a fan of his for half my life. So to be able to do that was absolutely amazing.